We're good.
Give me 1 second. Okay, can everyone see my screen? Okay, great.
Yes, yeah.
Thanks, everyone. Okay, hi and welcome, and thank you so much for joining us. And just very quickly, we just wanted to thank you so much for all the hard work that you do all year. And this is just going to be a short and sweet kind of preview presentation of the season. But thank you so much for all the work that you do, and we're super excited to get this season started. And so I'm just going to introduce myself and then my colleagues will introduce themselves and then we'll go through the presentation. So my name's Andrea and I am a programming manager here.
Hey there, I'm Zaylin Yates. I'm the manager of community engagement.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lakeisha Frith. I'm the Director of Education.
Okay, great. And Kimberly, who is a marketing manager, helped put together this PowerPoint, but she was unable to make it. So I just wanted to recognize her here. And then, so we're just gonna start. And our first thing is it's a video. So I hope, tell me if you can hear this sound. So that is our Broadway in Miami. So we open up our Broadway season with Some Like It Hot, which runs from December 3rd through the 8th. It's a winner of 4 Tony Awards, including Best Choreography and Best Costumes, and a Grammy Award for Best Musical Theater Album. It's a supersized, all-out song and dance spectacular. Then in February, we have Mamma Mia, A Tale of Love, Friendship, and identity told through the timeless hits of ABBA. It's an ultimate feel-good show. And then in March, we're going to have MJ, one of the greatest entertainers of all time, and a 4-time Tony Award-winning hit. Then we also have Tina, and we also will end. Then in April, we have Beetlejuice, the ghost with the most, coming to Miami. And then we end the season with Chicago in June, Broadway's longest running musical that's dazzled audiences for over 27 years with 6 Tony Awards and a Grammy.
And that is a good segue to me. So being a part of community engagement, one of the programs that we have is Broadway on Biscayne, where we like to have a free family-oriented program or activation associated with the show. So for instance, this picture here was from the Cher show, and we had a look-alike contest where people got to dress up as their favorite Cher era, and we gave out a prize for that. And so each opening night will be a Broadway on Biscayne activation. So if you work Broadway, make sure you work opening night because you get to work with me.
Then we go into our night Masterworks classical music. So here's another video. So very exciting. So this year we're featuring the world's top orchestras led by today's acclaimed conductors. So this season includes the return of Chicago Symphony Orchestra and the Israel Philharmonic and the premiere of London Symphony Orchestra here at the Arch and the National Symphony Orchestra with Hilary Hahn.
Before each of the classical conversations, the classical concerts, we have a classical conversation that we always request volunteers for. And this is given by local artists and musicians, and they will speak about the program that evening, what the audience is going to expect from, who is performing, where the orchestra is from, any information regarding the composers or what they can expect. And we start an hour before each concert. So this year, I know the schedule is a little bit different. I think the London Symphony is a little earlier, but we will have Scott Flavin, and also Dr. Rufus Jones will be joining us for the first time as one of our lecturers, and he is a conductor and also an author. So we're really excited to have Scott Flavin back. He's a beautiful violinist and professor at the Frost School of Music. And then I'm going to schedule one more lecture, but if you are available, it's a beautiful way to learn more about the performance and also engage with our community prior to. Each one, we have about 150 guests that come to each of these classical conversations. And last season, we started offering refreshments so that people could socialize and engage with the speakers prior. So they're all 1 hour before the concert. We wrap up about 30 minutes before the show begins. Thank you.
And now we have Jazz Roots. So we have 4 Jazz Roots shows this year, and we open our Jazz Roots series on November 1st with Sarah Vaughan, a Sassy Centennial. It's going to be a tribute with a special lineup of guest artists and the Frost School of Music, Henry Mancini Institute Orchestra. Then we will have 2025 NEA Jazz Master Chucho Valdez return to the Arch Center with the Royal Quartet. And he's captivated audiences, and you'll get to experience his new album, Cuba and Beyond, which promises to deliver an unforgettable evening. Then in March, we have Jason Moran perform the music of Duke Ellington, My Heart Sings. And this will feature special guest artist Alicia Hall Moran and the Frost School of Music Big Band. And it'll be a timeless genius of Ellington's music, brilliantly reimagined by him. And then in April, we end our Jazz Roots series with Arturo Sandoval, a master of Afro-Cuban jazz. The 10-time Grammy Award winner returns to Arch for an evening of hard-swinging jazz.
Prior to each of the Jazz Roots concerts, we have Jazz Roots Soundcheck, which was actually my introduction to the Arch Center's education programs. I won tickets to Jazz Roots, and I came for the event with Spike Lee's movie music of Spike Lee. And there were a lot of kids in the audience that said, what are they doing here? So they let me know they were part of our education program. So we invite Miami-Dade County High School students to each of our jazz concerts. They arrive around 5 p.m. and depending on what is happening, they may go straight into the concert hall to listen to the sound check. We have dinner, and we do a pre-concert lecture or a jam session. So last season, the jam session was really popular. Those that have volunteered know it's really hard to get the kids out of playing, and then they go and attend the performance at 8 p.m. So we always have volunteers for this event that join us from about 4:30 until the concert begins at 8. We bus all of the students in for this program. There's no cost to participate. So they receive tickets to the show, dinner, pre-concert events, and and buses as well. Thank you.
So next we have Theater Up Close and another committee. Our Theater Up Close is a collaboration with Zoetic Stage and City Theater, and this season's Theater Up Close series includes 5 extraordinary productions, including 3 regional production premieres and a beloved Tony Award-winning musical. So we have all of these listed that are coming and going to be very exciting. So another exciting news that is an Arts Center Presents series. We have The Great Yes, The Great No. So this is a US premiere, and it's the latest creation by internationally acclaimed contemporary artist William Kentridge. A combination of live music, projections, dance, and Kentridge's animated drawings told in French, English, and South African language. The Great Yes, The Great No embodies the spirit of surrealism, seeking beauty in the unexpected and the disregard of the unconventional. So if you remember in the 22-23 season with The Head and the Load, now they return for The Great Yes and The Great No. So we're very excited to have this. And now we have our Live on the Plazas. And tonight there's one. There's the Raspberry Pi. So we're super excited. And this year we're showcasing a lot of different ones. We have an electric tub tango. We have just so many here, as you can see listed. And it's a series that's intimate outdoor concerts featuring many talented local musicians. And it's a unique experience that you get to have here and take away. You can end your hectic workday here. And then our resident companies, which we have Miami City Ballet, New World Symphony, and Florida Grand Opera. So we have, for Miami City Ballet, we have a Midnight Summer's Dream. Opening night is tomorrow and we'll go through the week. And this year they'll have that, and along with the Nutcracker, then Winter Mix in February, Spring Mix in March, and Carmen in April. With Florida Grand Opera, they'll be doing the Magic Flute in November, the Elixir of Love in February, and Carmen in April as well. And for New World Symphony, we have the Planets and Rachmaninoff in October, and Piazzolla's Tango in January, and the War Requiem in March.
All right, another community engagement program is our Family Fest series. And if you know anything about this series, it is just an opportunity where we provide free programming that is family friendly. And so one of our upcoming ones is actually this Saturday. Hopefully some of y'all are signed up for the Busy Bees Great Adventure, which will be teaching young kids about sustainability. And that is in partnership with the education department, as well as we have a holiday themed one coming up in December called Pomp, Show, and Circumstance. And then we'll have one in February with MCB to round off our season. And these family fests always have a quiet room because we want to make sure that we are being accessible and sensory friendly to all of our guests. And these are always in partnerships with different entities, whether they be parks, whether they be with some of our resident companies, because we want to partner with them and also grow with our community partners. Thank you. Next, I'm very excited to talk about this one. This is Gospel Fest Miami, which is formerly known as Free Gospel Sundays. And for Gospel Fest Miami, 2 good things that is coming out of this is going to be our gospel choir competition, which will be on January 18th. That is a invitational we'll be sending out to different community and collegiate choirs around South Florida. So they'll have the chance to compete with each other for a grand prize. And whoever wins that invitational will get a invitation to perform at the festival in June. And we're gonna be announcing the headliner very soon. I won't steal Hyro's thunder, so I won't mention that now. But it's gonna be a great headliner, one that I'm sure many of you all know. But along with the festival in June, and it's actually June 21st and 22nd. And for that festival is going to have 2-day activation. So we're going to have local gospel artists. We're going to have film screenings. We're going to have a headliner performance, as well as food trucks and what have you. So it's going to be a party just celebrating the culture of gospel. So we hope to see you there. Next is our Arched on the Road, and this is our program where we take our artistry out into the community and kind of stretch the walls of the Arch Center. And so our goal with Arched on the Road is to provide free and accessible programming throughout the 13 districts. And so what we've been doing this season is partnering with events that are already happening in the community. So some of those include a Hispanic Heritage Festival that just happened in October in Commissioner Gilbert's district, as well as we have another one coming up in December that'll be holiday themed. We're also going to be participating in a food drive giveaway for Thanksgiving in November. And then we'll also have about 4 gospel centered pop-ups in different districts between February and May as well. So I don't know if you all would participate in these ones as volunteers, because we'll be partnering with the venues to get their support on it. But that does not mean that you cannot attend, because it is free to everyone. And then Ailey Camp Miami, which is our bread and butter. I know that this is a fan favorite a lot with our volunteers. But Ailey Camp is a 7-week program where we invite of about 100 campers to come and receive various professional development opportunities, both through creative communications, through professional development, ballet, jazz, modern. It is a 7-week program that truly works on self-confidence with these middle schoolers, and the amount of, what's the word I want to look for? Love and appreciation I see on their faces every single summer when they get to be in this amazing center and study all these classes is really makes me feel like this is what I'm doing this for. I feel like this is the heart of our community engagement department, and it's truly a love of mine. So you'll have plenty of opportunities to volunteer for Ailey Camp Miami, because we are always looking for volunteers to help us serve lunch, as well as work our different ancillary events throughout the camp. And then we have the final showcase July 27th, which again, you all are free to attend as well. And it is a beautiful showcase. Right. And then with our arts and wellness program, again, another program that goes out into the community. We work with various adult centers. This is our arts enrichment program for populations with various needs. And so we have teaching artists that go out and work with them through voice, dance, movement, theater, and it is all under the umbrella of our arts and wellness program. And so we're taking the arts and making it more of a holistic approach, and it's really speaking to the health and wellness of our community. So that is through accessing the arts, that is through our community workshops, that is through Art and Mind Day, which is a large festival that takes place every summer, where again, we invite these same teaching artists to have different activations. Some of you probably attended this one that just passed, which was a huge success. And then we just implemented a new arts and wellness program, and that is Brushes with Cancer, where we paired various visual artists with inspirations. And the inspirations were either people who have survived cancer, who may be currently living with it, or are caregivers of someone with cancer. So we took those individuals, and the visual artists created a story, a piece of art that we displayed in our night concert hall lobby for about a month. And so again, we just introduced that program, but it was such a great success that we'll be continuing that next season as well. And then our Step Into Dance program, again, it's just another opportunity, much like Broadway on Biscayne, to partner with both community partners or dance programs that are coming here to the Arts Center. So one of them last year was we had the Trocaderos come and do a performance. And so we offered a master class with them where they, talked about the culture, taught some movements. And again, these programs are free and accessible. So anyone from the public will be able to attend these professional developments. And sometimes you don't have to be a quote unquote dancer to attend one. Right. And then speaking of community arts partners, one of our biggest partners is Dranoff, who puts on the Showcase Piano Slam every spring. And Piano Slam is a showcase that they put together as they work through the school system throughout the year. At the end, they have the showcase where they have worked with either poetry, music, or theater with these students, and they come together and create a piece of art to present, which they entitled Piano Slam. So that is actually our only community partner that'll be for this season. Thank you. And next slide. Next, we have our community dance, which is June 8th. And if you don't know anything about community, it is our festival that celebrates LGBTQ AI plus communities, but it is family friendly and it is for all ages. So it is just a time where we bring local vendors, we bring artists to come and perform, and we typically have a great headliner. But again, it's just to celebrate our LGBTQ plus community. Right. And then speaking also of festivals, we have the Heritage Project, which is a program that amplifies Black voices in the community. And the Heritage Project is made up of various colleagues around the Arts Center. Actually, Lakeisha is on the committee with myself, along with about 6 others. And for the Heritage Project, we put on Heritage Fest in February. It's February 8th, so make sure you mark your calendars. And then we also put on Juneteenth Juke Joint in June. And like I said, these both programs are family oriented. They are fun filled. They're always a party. But at these programs, you'll be able to find just artists, and provide programming again that amplifies Black and Brown voices in the community. Yep. And speaking of Juke Joint, this is a beautiful picture right here. One of our headliners, Milton Mustafa. And this upcoming Juke Joint, which is June 7th, will be on our Opera House stage. And again, just a night celebrating Black music, culture, and food. So make sure you're there.
All right, so we have had a fast and furious start to education this season. We wrapped last season with Kitty Hawk, and thank you to those of you who volunteered for that event, which is our program for 7th grade students about the Wright brothers, a reimagining of the Wright brothers in their first flight. We are currently in Tech Week for the Busy Bees Great Adventure. As Zaylin mentioned, there is a free Family Fest public performance this Saturday, which is something we have not done in a long time, aligning learning through the arts with a free public performance. And then next week, we have a full week of performances 2 times a day for the Busy Bees Great Adventure. This Learning Through the Arts are our programs that are self-produced by the Arts Center for school students. And so Kitty Hawk and the Busy Bees, we bus the students here. It's the night concert hall to come and see these shows that were created and designed for them, from the curriculum to the costumes to the performance and what they're going to be learning. I Am Me, which is our show for high school, is going to have a small shift this year in that we are starting the tour here at the Adrienne Arts Center in the Peacock Foundation Studio for about a month. And in addition to seeing the show, the students will be taking workshops in mental wellness. So that could be movement, theater, journaling, and they will be coming here. And then we will be going on our tour to the actual schools from February through March. In the past, those of you who are familiar with the program, everything has been done externally. In the past 2 years, there have been a lot of schools undergoing construction that do not have a proper theater or cafetorium for us to perform these shows. So we're doing it a little bit differently this year, but also to have a little bit more interaction. So not only will they see the show, but they'll be able to participate in a workshop before returning to school. So learning through the arts is our way of infusing curriculum through the art form of musical theater and dance and movement to make it more accessible to the students in our community. Next slide, please. Our student ambassadors for the ARSH program is going to be starting for the 3rd season. These students learn about careers in the arts. They meet staff here at the ARSH Center, but they also go to various shows. So this season, they will be going to Broadway to see the MJ show. They'll be going to New Deco. They will be going to see Ailey too. So we try to expose them to a wide variety of programs. They typically will see a show and it is combined with a workshop or lunch or dinner. Last year, which we'll be doing again, they had a wonderful Q&A with Johan Zietzman and our board chair, Mr. Richard Milstein. So we just want to make sure that they're out and exposed. They also have an opportunity to do the volunteer training, and they are able to volunteer at education and community engagement events. So last year, we had some of them here for the opening of schools. They volunteered and took care of the tables for Family Fest. They were here for Heritage Fest. So we just want to make sure that they feel a part of our community and learn about how to give back, different careers in the arts, and how they can represent the Arts Center at their respective schools. This program is not only open to public school students, but also charter and private school students. So we've recently selected a little over 50 students to participate in this year's Student Ambassadors for the ARSH program. Our first event will begin in November, and the program will run until May. So keep an eye out for their events and if you would like to volunteer for that. Thank you. Accessing the arts, which Zaylin touched on a little bit earlier, under the umbrella of arts and wellness. Education handles the school portion of this, where they are in 6-week residencies at their schools, and then they come to the Arts Center to perform. The focus of this program is making sure that arts is accessible for students with special needs. So they will have a performance in December and a performance in May. Our school day performances are some of the things that we collaborate with or works that we bring in. Jazz at Lincoln Center will be participating for the 2nd year with Louis Armstrong's New Orleans Dreams. These performances will take place in the Peacock Foundation Studio. They're a little bit more intimate. The students listen to the music, they come up with their own poems. They're encouraged to dance and just learn about jazz at a younger age. So we have our jazz roots for high school, but Jazz at Lincoln Center is for elementary school students. Fat Cat Caterpillar is a book about a caterpillar that does not want to turn into a butterfly. And this is set to jazz music, all original music by the Hardin Project, and that will be performed in the Carnival Studio Theater also in November. We have tomorrow Miami City Ballet's A Midsummer Night's Dream being presented for middle and high school students. And then in December, we're collaborating with them for the Nutcracker, which will be for upper elementary age students. Next is the New Deco Ensemble, which we will have in December and in April. Seraphic Fire is a new partner. It's a beautiful choir, Grammy Award-winning choir, and their professional ensemble will perform as well as some of their student outreach groups. And then the Cleveland Orchestra will be here for April 30th and May 1st, 2 days of performances. All of these performances are offered free for students, and for most of them, we cover the buses for these programs. So we want to make it as accessible as possible. And so this year, we've also started doing a little bit more effort to incorporate charter and private schools so they also are able to take advantage of these opportunities. Next slide, please. and Camp Arsht. So we are producing our own Broadway theater camp for 1 week. This will be our 3rd year coming up. We do not have the theme yet, but last year we did have our first Camp Arsht song. All of the students are taught by local theater professionals, and they rehearse and have a final performance in the night concert hall. This takes place the week after Ailey Camp is completed. Thank you. I think that's it for education.
So, and then, you know, you can see the full listing of events at the calendar. That's it. That's all we have. So thank you everyone for joining us. Elizabeth, do you have anything or anybody have anything to mention? I think you're muted.
What I was saying was that I will have the recording of all of this up soon. And thank you so much to our lovely presenters, to all of you for joining us for this presentation. So thank you so much.
Nobody had any questions?
Oh, that's true. We can open that up to questions. Yes, of course.
I don't. Thank you guys. You did a fantastic job. We're looking forward to the entire year.
Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you.
I'll be looking at the chat. If anybody wants to write anything in the chat, I'll read it out. I don't see we have anything yet. Nothing. Okay.
Okay, great. Well,
All
thank
right.
you everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank
See
you
ya.
all.